The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a Thursday edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, and the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We've got the whole cast and crew ready to rock for you today. Josh just topping off the final Black Rifle Coffee, about to open up a whole new bag, ready to rock. Dude, if you were to just chug a coffee and then actually open that,
chase it with some hot water.
No, don't open that one. That's one of the last
The
Cowboys
special
ones
Black
we got.
Rifle Coffee.
I'll get you another bag.
Let's do it.
Actually, I don't
That should
want
be
to
a
waste.
bet.
I don't want to waste Black Rifle Coffee. I'll get you like a
That's
bag
not
of
a
some
waste.
other BS.
No, you get a whole scoop of Black Rifle Black Rifle coffee. Toss it into your mouth and get some lukewarm water.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And then
Savage mode.
take it to the head.
Savage mode.
Yeah.
I've seen people
I'm
do that
down.
with
Let's do it.
pre-workout, but not
Exactly.
coffee.
Let's
That's
do it.
animal mode.
Let's do it one day.
I've had worse.
Hey, let's do it. Hey,
But you
if the
won't.
Cowboys win this weekend against the 49ers in San Francisco territory,
gonna
we
do
do
it?
Black Rifle coffee shot.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Y'all do.
I'll do
That's
it.
espresso.
Let's do it. Boom. Tough acting, 10 acting.
You know what?
Get on that.
Whatever.
Get on
I'll
that.
do
Let's
it.
go,
If we win,
baby.
I'll do it. Why
Dry
not?
coffee?
It's
Let's go
good.
for it.
It's good. It's good
Well,
TV.
y'all don't put me in a position to piss off the sponsor. Twitter knows.
You got to recognize
my
the
take.
faces.
You don't
gotta
like
know the
coffee.
faces.
That's fine.
That is correct.
It's okay.
Black Rifle Coffee has
But
stuff other than coffee,
if
so
I
it's
enjoy
fine.
coffee,
It
What
would
are you
be
drinking in the
Black
morning,
Rifle
dude?
coffee.
Apple juice? You
Water.
child?
water.
Oh.
We said water. You
Water.
get water with that deal.
Like an adult.
Well, then
We're
what-
like Isaiah. Isaiah didn't like coffee until he started having Black Rifle
That is very
coffee.
true.
That
It
is
is
a
super
true
true.
fact.
That is a
It's
fact.
really good.
I also remember Isaiah took that Black Rifle can that shot.
Where is it? I need it. Another
Man,
one.
he was Twitch.
Yes.
When was the last time you had coffee, genuinely?
Genuinely,
I found a can.
it's been about a decade. But that being said, before I finally gave up on it, I tried every variation. So everybody convinced me with it's the cold brew and you didn't do it this way and you should add this and it's this. I've tried all the variations.
Have you tried like Black Rifle, like the actual can? Have you
can?
tried it yet?
The can. That's how I
It's actually
started.
really good.
It's good.
And
As
it's
long
not
as
very coffee-y. So we may try like a little tiny bit.
I don't
What if
do
that's
it.
the bet for you?
Coffee,
You
ketchup.
tie a regular, like a little pour
do
of
it.
coffee, just a taste.
Do it now.
as long as the
taste.
last coffee you tried wasn't like an adult milkshake, that you know what I'm
No,
saying,
no,
like
no,
the frappuccinos with the.
No,
Adult
it wasn't
milkshake.
that.
Okay.
It wasn't that. It wasn't the whole Starbucks thing, which is not really coffee as much as it is everything in there except coffee.
Yeah,
It definitely
for
wasn't.
$10.
It definitely wasn't Black Rifle coffee.
no.
Hey, my wife actually just did the Black Rifle cold brew. You know,
It's
the
good.
little plunger
Yeah.
thing that
Very
they have.
good.
I don't know what it's called right now.
Listen, if you
a cold brew.
if you enjoy
there you go.
coffee,
It's a press.
Black
Did we
Rifle
get that
is
from here?
likely
Right?
quite
I
enjoyable.
got her one. I don't remember.
Yeah, I just
Like, it's all
just-
Black Rifle.
Enough
I-
coffee.
Funny thing though is I love how coffee smells. Like I love
Yeah.
how coffee
Yeah.
grounds smell. I just don't like the taste. It's just funny. It's the opposite of Parmesan. Parmesan smells like the worst, but it tastes so good.
See, and that's why I think if we're gonna do an entire ground coffee shot
Yes.
with lukewarm water, if that's the bet that we end up making for ourselves to celebrate
doing
a
it.
Cowboys win,
It's done.
I think if
you know,
we were to
it's-
get you a shot
Beamer,
glass,
you got to come here for that.
and fill it up a third of the way, a shot glass third of the way with that can of Black Rifle, and you just take that,
You'd be good, bro.
I think it'd be totally fine.
I used
What's
to
funny
I
is
used to have
just
for
to join in
my,
on the
my
fun.
friends back home in Georgia that have known me my whole life. They're watching this and they're laughing because they're like, "You're not going to peer pressure, man." I'm so
I'm that guy,
I'm
too.
so anti
Me too.
peer pressure.
Me too.
Well, that's not even what we're trying
But
to
I
do.
gave it
We're
a
just
chance.
trying to
You know,
be a
I used to be
team.
anti-coffee, and I
Gotta
gave
be
Black
a
Rifle a
team.
chance,
It's
and
a
I said,
team.
"Hey, This is not bad. I actually like
this.
Yeah. What was that?
You're absolutely trying to sell me a car right now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
You're not going to have to pay me $355 a month to drink your Black Rifle coffee. It's take a sip of coffee.
Right now, Josh is like, only $355 a month?
Yeah, right. What kind of car are you buying?
He's like, that's my HOA fees.
Like, what kind of poverty are you?
All right, give us some news and notes, Pat.
Do it.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, first and foremost, let's start by saying Jordan Phillips, his 21-day practice window has been activated. So the Cowboys will have 21 days from yesterday's practice to decide if they're going to add Jordan Phillips back to the active 53-man roster or if they're going to revert him to season-ending IR. As far as how he feels, I'll let you guys ask him that when you see him out in the grocery store. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to tell you. As far as how soon he can come back. Now, Brandon Aubrey, he did not practice yesterday, but unique situation. Brandon Aubrey is serving jury duty on a felony case in Tarrant County.
Wow.
So, non-injury related, that's the good news. No timetable on when that case will wrap up, but I've had a couple conversations, and there is no expectation that he will miss the trip to San Francisco. So, hope that holds true as well, because he has been their best player, hands down.
Can't you get out of jury duty for
Not this case.
being... Oh, so because it's a felony, it's different?
This is like
Felony
a strangulation case or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Tarrant County.
Yeah, it's a really serious
It's like a
case.
third-degree strangulation
However,
case.
if you do want to get out of jury duty, the only way to, or the uneasy way to do it is to have a strong opinion about anything.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way.
Because they vet you, like, beforehand.
Yeah.
They sit you down.
the jury
and all
selection,
Just sit down and say the most outlandish thing.
Oh, yeah.
No, because they'll ask you
Pitbull's like
everything.
to wear Jordans.
Peanut butter killed my dad.
He's not fit. He's not fit.
If you have a strong opinion either way, they're automatically like, he's out, he's out, he's out. You need to be a straight arrow down the middle guy.
So you're telling me
And that's Brandon Aubrey.
the best kicker in the NFL,
Straight of an arrow as you could.
who's as even keeled
Yes.
as anybody,
Yes.
was selected for a felony jury trial.
Yep.
Literally a perfect candidate. That's for a perfect
The
jury.
They're
most
like,
impartial.
he like tried in the middle of the vet process. He's sitting there and he's like, "Dude, I hate this." I'm like, Brandon, listen, we know what you're already on this. Like,
Yeah.
it's done.
One
Like,
thing
we
we know
know
about
you're
Brandon-
even keel.
One thing we know about Brandon Aubrey, he's not going wide left or wide right. You know what I'm saying? He's right down the middle. Right down the middle.
My man.
What'd you
Right?
say, Beamer?
That was awesome.
Right down the middle. Come on, bring it in.
Let's
right
go.
there. All right. Deron
By the way,
Bland.
Tarrant County is Fort Worth, just for
Yes.
anybody that's not in DFW.
Outside of the Metroplex.
Yes.
Yeah, Fort Worth.
Fort Worth side.
Fort Worth. All right. So Deron Bland apparently still dealing with whatever that setback was, the soreness that they labeled it as a couple weeks ago. He did not participate in practice on Wednesday. So now we need to draw a red circle around him and monitor him going forward. Today being Thursday, this is the heaviest practice day. If he didn't practice on yesterday, don't know how much he'll do on today. So now that's not trending in the right direction as far as Deron
not
Bland
good.
is concerned. Kalen Carson, per the injury report, he was a full participant for the first time since suffering the shoulder injury. He's now missed, 3 games, I believe? I spoke with Kalen Carson in the locker room yesterday. He told me that his range of motion is greatly improved, but he's still waiting to get cleared. He said there's one, to his wording, there's one more bar that he has to clear to get medically cleared as far as his range of motion is concerned. But he is trending toward it. We'll see how that goes, though, because, again, Thursday is going to be the big day as far as determining the trajectory of guys like Kalen Carson and Deron Bland. Ryan Flanoy, ankle, he was limited. He did some rehab work in the open portion of practice with Britt Brown, but then he joined practice for some reps. Eric Kendricks, all right. He returned to practice yesterday.
Finally some good news.
Some good news. EK returned to practice on yesterday. It was in a limited capacity.
This is a rough injury report.
This is a rough injury report. Wait till we get to
Hey, at least we're
theirs.
not the Niners.
I was going to say, wait till we get to theirs. We spoke with EK in the locker room on yesterday. He didn't give any indication in one direction or the other as far as his availability for Sunday, other than to say that he is making progress. He does feel a lot better, and he is hoping to be on the field. So some good news there. Micah Parsons, not trending in the right direction right now, did not participate on Wednesday. And Nick Vigil, still battling a foot injury. He was limited. John Stevens Jr. was limited on yesterday, but I'll wait to confirm what we're hearing. But it sounds like he left practice early yesterday with this knee injury that's listed. Doesn't seem like it's a great outlook for him. Let me put it that way. So waiting to get some more information so we can confirm what's going on there, but not optimistic for the young man, which absolutely sucks for him, especially coming off of what he dealt with, the torn ACL. He, finally gets healthy, but he wasn't able to get on the field, and now he might miss some time going forward. We'll blow through the San Francisco. Oh boy. Jawan Jennings did not participate. Kevin Givens, defensive tackle, did not participate. George Kittle did not participate with a foot injury. Jake Moody, the kicker, did not participate with an ankle. George Odom, safety, did not participate with a knee. Deebo Samuel did not participate as he recovers from pneumonia, of all things. What a wild time in the NFL. Trent Williams was a rest day for him, so he's more or less fine. Nick Bosa, elbow injury, limited, and Chris Conley, wide receiver, limited with an ankle. So both teams are exceedingly banged up, and we haven't even talked about the IR guys for the Cowboys, right? So as far as who's missing in addition to who hasn't practiced and who's trying to practice. So, it's a battle of the mass units, it seems like, this coming Sunday. So,
Goodness.
Some good news, more bad than good. We'll see how the rest of the week plays out.
At least you get Kendricks back. Seemingly, you still have some. Hopefully, there's some other guys that are hopefully coming back. Like, it's not the end all be all. Now, when we get to the Friday injury report and we start really seeing the designations,
you see some doubtfuls, some outs.
That's when it's going to be the be all end all, and it'll get tough. It'll get tough. You said there, Isaiah, you were like, it's about to be a preseason game for San Francisco specifically.
Both.
I mean, both teams, but San Francisco more so.
Yeah, San Francisco is down, but shoot, Dallas is down too. Yeah. I mean, you got no D-Law, you got no Micah. Okay, that's your front. Eric Kendricks, maybe? I don't know. Sounds like he's kind of heading that way. Deron Bland doesn't sound good. Kalen Carson, maybe? Talking about the range of motion in his shoulder. He can't be seatbelt. If you can't strap it up,
if you can't reach the strap,
so that doesn't sound great. Ow! Yeah. For those who have never had a shoulder issue before, trust me, I have plenty of experience there. It's kind of sucky, especially when you don't feel confident putting your arm out in space. You're at defensive back, and your whole thing is about being physical at the line of scrimmage
and trying to
tackle. Like, you're going to be super hesitant to even jam somebody at the line of scrimmage. Nevertheless, try to tackle somebody. It's kind of hard to be any kind of harness, single or 5-point. So. That doesn't give me any vote of confidence there. I'm hoping that the bye week is great for Dallas. That's my hope right now, strategically, in terms of schemes, right? And I don't know if the news and notes, if we hit on what Mr. Jones had to say yesterday or not, but there were some things there in regards to him speaking on Coach McCarthy and his.
We haven't talked about that.
Yeah, we haven't.
But I think we should.
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, remember the question mark?
It was a question mark.
Yeah, I posted. I put a pin in it yesterday.
Yeah,
and that's going to segue to all of that we're talking about.
Do you want to ask it right now? Then?
Well, let's ask it.
Let's talk about it.
So yesterday we were talking about offensive struggles and specifically offensive line, eating a block better up front, things like that, running game and how that plays into it. So my question is, because this has been kind of pondering in my head, I've been pondering it in my head since Pittsburgh. The Cowboys traditionally, when I say traditionally, Garrett era, McCarthy era, zone scheme. Okay, zone blocking scheme. Okay, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, at some point during that game, they changed to the power blocking scheme, and it worked. Right, it helped lead Rico to a career day.
It's the most efficient running game they've had so far.
Now there are other variables to take into account when you talk about what happened against the Lions. You got forced into a one-dimensional game, et cetera, but they also reverted back to the zone scheme. So, question for the panel and for the listeners who are so tuned in, because we love our Talkin Cowboys fans: should the Cowboys stick with their tried and true zone blocking scheme, or should they give it a go at the power blocking scheme? Now, I will say, I slowed down. You heard my pause on that?
Tried and true.
It's not that they haven't tried the power blocking scheme before, because a guy named Darren McFadden comes to mind. Okay, so when McFadden was here, they kind of they converted the power blocking to help accommodate him, and they got him 1,000. Yeah, they got him 1,000 yards rushing. Right.
Yeah.
So, question being, ZBS or PBS?
What do you think?
I told you guys yesterday, I'm a big fan of the power blocking scheme. I think, at least for me, when you get into the red zone, going into like a 13 personnel, I think would be huge, because that wrinkle is just not a part of our game right now. I don't see that being effective enough or ran enough to really justify.
Who are your three tight ends in that regard? It would be Ferg, Schoonmaker,
and
You gotta be
Brevin
Brevin. Brevin
Brevin Spanford. Or Hunter Lipke.
Okay, and just count
Fair.
him as that tight end.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Yeah, I need to see him just on the field more. Obviously, I'm turning into Nick Harris all of a sudden, but genuinely, I need to see Hunter Lipke.
We needed
on
a
the
little
field.
extra Hunter
see the
Lipke love.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's the beard. See the
Exactly. No, we need to see El Boogie on the field more. But for me, it's like, okay, if we're not running the ball very well, let's get as many blockers in as we can and run the ball. Do it until it fails you. You know what I mean? Do it 3 times in a row. If you could pick up 10 yards, keep going. Keep going. I want to see an entire series of just 13 personnel. I genuinely want to see how that would work.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a tragedy. I don't know, but show me.
Could be.
Show me you're trying. You know.
Is anything right now a tragedy in terms of the running game? Probably.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
I Big Facts I thought was going to be out yesterday. It should come out today, I believe, in terms of DallasCowboys.com. One of the big facts is the fact that this is the second worst rushing attack through 6 games in Cowboys or since 1989. So since Jerry Jones bought the team, 89 was the worst. 90 was not much better, but it was still better than what is happening currently in 2024.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah. It is the second worst rushing attack since 1989 for the Cowboys.
I have hope for this offense. I truly do. I do have hope. Because I believe in Coach McCarthy. I believe in Coach McCarthy's schemes. I've seen it. I've seen what he's capable of. I've seen these guys respond in the past. I've seen what Dak's capable of doing in this scheme. That's why I'm hopeful, and I'm excited for this week to see what he's been cooking up over the last week and a half. I want to see it. I truly want to see it because I know that he can get in his bag. Mm-hmm. I know he can. It's not like we're sitting here saying like, oh man, yeah, he's just, he doesn't have it no more. I might feel that way about the other side of the ball, but not offensively.
And we've said that before on this show. I mean, Kellen Moore specifically. There were times where we looked at each other and said, I don't know if he's got it.
Right.
I don't know if it's there. I don't think we've said that with McCarthy yet.
No.
And even though we've been very critical of McCarthy, which is fair because the numbers and the production say one thing, it's not like we've given up on him as a play caller.
Not at all. And so, I want to point people back to, Kyle and I did a breakdown last week on special editions. So I think y'all can go back on either on the website or YouTube or something like
website.
that.
DallasCowboys.com.
Yeah, DallasCowboys.com. But go back and look at last week's episode of Special Edition. We did a film segment where we broke down what has contributed to the red zone woes for the Dallas Cowboys. And one of the areas that we addressed, as well as turnovers, as well as missed opportunities, one of the things we talked about was the predictability of the offensive scheme right now. And I think that's what Mr. Jones was alluding to when he made his sentiments in regards to Coach McCarthy making bad play calls. I think is what is his.
He said bad scheme.
Bad scheme.
What did he actually say for the listeners? What
I don't want to misquote. So
I'll get it. Give me 2
yeah.
seconds.
So in that breakdown, we highlighted, the West Coast offense. That's really at the core of what Coach McCarthy likes to run, right? And there's a lot of different ways you can run the same concepts. Mm-hmm. You can run it out of different personnel. You can run it out of different formations. You can do shifts. You can motion to it. You can make a very simplified offense look like crazy complex. And he just hasn't gotten there yet. Very much so what Shanahan does, right? So he just hasn't gotten there yet. So if you go back and look at that special edition episode, you will see what we're talking about and how teams are really starting to jump and really start to predict what the route concepts are, who's supposed to be getting the ball, all those things. And that's why I'm saying, okay, hey, take what you've been doing, but just make it look super complex, right? And still keep it simple for your offense. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that that comes out with a different result.
Tuesday on 105.3 The Fan, Jerry Jones said, the types of things that we all think we should be looking at it's hard to read a Jones quote. We're designing bad plays. We're designing bad concepts. The facts are that there's some of that, but there's also some of the execution.
Yeah. And
so basically he said bad schemes, bad concepts, bad plays, and bad exection across the board.
And I don't agree, before you go to that, I disagree with Mr. Jones in that regard. I wholeheartedly on the bad schemes.
So more of execution?
The execution, but also I'm going to say, hey, I like the schemes. I dislike the creativity. I like the schemes because I've ran that offense a gazillion times, but I dislike how you're getting to those plays.
Yeah. To be fair, he said bad plays, bad concepts.
Bad concepts, yeah. So
the scheme was the overarching thing. So his actual quote was plays and concepts.
Yeah. So what we talked about on the special edition episode was concepts.
Correct.
Right? We're talking about certain, smash concepts where there's a hitch usually or under and a corner route, things of that nature. But like mix up who's running it. So he's mixed up the personnel groupings, but he's not mixing up the formations. He's not mixing up how you get to it. He's not mixing up pre-snap motions to be able to help Dak get information as whether this is man or zone, right? Are these coverage declarations, right? All those are things that can contribute to your offense while, it's giving your offense information while making it look extremely complex for the defense.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know, maybe he watched our episode. He might have watched the episode. So I wasn't taking a shot at Coach McCarthy in our episode. I was just saying that he needs to get in his bag and get more creative. Do what you're doing. Right? Do what you're confident with, but make it look complex.
The scheme is proven.
Yes.
The scheme is proven time and time again. We just talked about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is running a variation of the scheme, and Kyle Shanahan's scheme is very bare bones, but it's how he masks and how he uses motion and how he makes it so creative that the opposing defense just doesn't know what's coming next.
But I found it, though.
Yeah.
I found it on film. I found out some. I found some stuff.
Yeah. But we just need more of that from McCarthy. And I said it on yesterday when the question was posed, like, am I giving up on McCarthy or, no, I'm not, because I've seen him cook up. So now it's just a matter of getting back to that. And maybe that does involve more pre-snap motion, because for those that are just like the basic football fan, a very simple concept would be if you line up and you send somebody in motion, if that man trails over, then that man is in man.
Yep.
Right? That's
Sure,
not he's not in zone. Now, it could be a combo defense with a hybrid zone man, but that particular man just revealed to him that he's in man. So little things like that you can do to get a tell to help your quarterback. So that's kind of what Isaiah's saying.
Well, last week when Barry Church was on Talkin, I asked him the very simple question. I was like, you played in this league for a long time as a defender. I was like, did you like or dislike when teams ran in motion, pre-snap motion? He said, I hated it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's simple enough for me to say, let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it all the time.
Because if there's a defender saying here, like, there's no fallback to doing pre-snap motion, in my opinion. Is it tougher on an offense to run pre-snap motion?
No.
Exactly.
It gives you information. So, like, shift. So come to the line of scrimmage and shift, right? So move your tight ends from the left side to the right side, right? So now the defense, from their perspective, you just change the strength of your offense, right? So which means that they have to change the strength of their defense. So that off the bat gives you information. That your defense might change from an underfront to an overfront or vice versa, right? But you're getting those type of things. Okay, now that you have that, now let's run a motion, right? Now maybe let's run a return motion, right? Let's take CD, let's send him to the quarterback and then send him back. All right, what are we getting, right? What information are we gathering? Not only are we getting a man or zone declaration, right? We're seeing where these safeties are moving at. We're also seeing exactly can CD gain more leverage, right? Based upon what his route is, right? So there's a lot of things that it gives you an advantage of, and that's what I believe that you're going to see more of this week, because he's had an opportunity to sit back, self-evaluate, and now he can cook up some things that are going to help this offense.
It also helps Dak see what he's about to see on the play pre-snap. I mean, it gives him just that little bit of extra spy on what the defense is doing.
And the defense has to communicate. Like, the number one contributor to bad defense is communication. So the more difficult you can make it on a defense to communicate and do their jobs properly, the more opportunities you're going to have for drop coverages. Right? Drop. Yeah. Are we playing man? Or are we playing zone? I don't know. They just got mixed up. Now all of a sudden you got somebody running free down the sideline. Right? Don't show the blitz set. Oh crap! I don't know when he's going to snap the ball. Right? All those things. Right? It just causes a lot of conflict. So that's back to what you were saying about Barry. They hate it because they want to just be able to go up there,
just line up and go.
strong right, and then line up and play. That's what they want to be able to do.
Which teams are doing? Huh? Which teams are doing? And teams are starting to really say, hey, CD's in the slot. CD's either running an over or CD's running a corner.
And listen, if you need evidence to what Isaiah is saying, just look at how the Cowboys defense has been just scorched over these past several games, right? It's because a lot of reason is because of the miscommunication, because the opposing offenses, whether it be the Saints, the Ravens, they're forcing them to
a ton of it.
Yeah, they're forcing them to over communicate.
Yeah.
And if the communication isn't pristine, that's the first thing that's going to
missed assignments and all.
If you had a guess, if you had a guess on how much the Dallas Cowboys run motion percentage-wise, what would it be? What would be your guess? Unless you already know the answer to the no.
I already know the answer.
Okay, so I'll stay away from Pat. Josh, what would your guess be?
10%.
Okay. Isaiah?
What was the question?
What percentage of time do you feel like the Cowboys run motion?
Ooh, maybe 23%.
Okay, so a little bit higher.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot higher.
Yeah, I was
than
going to say
you
it's
think.
higher than you think.
55%.
It's higher than you think.
55%. But if you look at some of the other teams, I just pulled up the San Francisco 49ers as we're talking about the Kyle Shanahan offense and the tree. Would you like to guess on what they run motion?
Nah, probably 80.
Okay.
Yeah, 70.
Okay.
I was going to go 70.
It's 80 right on the dot. Yep. So 55, great. Okay, you run it more than half of the time, but it's also less than what you run in 11 personnel, which is 60% of the time. Yeah. It's less than what you do in terms of all these other different things on your offense, mixing and matching. You're still not doing it enough compared to some of the teams that do use it quite a bit. Now, motion is not the be-all, end-all, solve-all. But it does give you information, and it's an extra added tool that the Cowboys are only using at their disposal 55% of the time.
It gives you information, and it creates confusion.
Yes.
Bazinga.
Just looking at this, have you seen how many snaps they've gone in play action this year? Because of how the running game has just been bad. They've had 46 play action snaps this year.
In
6 games. That's terrible. That's 17%.
Not dangerous with the play action.
Not at all. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we've got some QB vision. We just talked about the Cowboys offense. What is going to happen with this San Francisco defense that's still a little banged up on their side, but they've still got some dudes. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner and company. We'll talk about it when we come back right after this with more Talkin' Cowboys. If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. This portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877. Scan the Quaker code now.
And what?
Buy your oats
Buy
from
your
the internet.
oats from the internet.
Yes.
Sick.
Love it. All right.
You know what else is sick? The
maple on
picture.
here?
You didn't bring up the photo. Is that for tomorrow? I was like, sorry.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it tomorrow.
Sorry.
He actually did text. So just a prelude for tomorrow. We had one of our loyal Talking Cowboys listeners, Cole T, stop by yesterday, and he delivered some pretty fire T-shirts.
Absolutely.
Really excited to show these off. We're going to wear them tomorrow.
Super grateful.
He gave us a note. We haven't even read the note yet. We're going to read it on the air tomorrow. So we'll read it with everybody. We really enjoyed getting to catch up with him. We got the whole crew out there, took a picture. He posted it up. I'll post it tomorrow after the segment just so that way it's all kind of relevant. But he actually texted earlier in the on the text line. He said, "Back when I was in the Army, we would put coffee grounds in our lips like Copenhagen to keep us awake.
He is not.
So he's still listening. And
Popcorn shrimp, live cheese shrimp.
I've seen because I grew up around a lot of military men and women, and I've seen them do that. I've seen the Marines. Just
Straight
they just
caffeine,
walk around
baby.
with it, just inject right through the gums.
maybe that's what I need to start doing to
Those
stay
guys that know how
awake
to kill
after
you with
these
a pencil.
kids. Yeah.
Walk in here and we're talking about.
Looks good on you, man.
We're talking about Josh doing the dry shot. I want to see you put coffee grounds in the bottom lipper.
I'll do it if you take a sip of Black Rifle coffee.
Ooh, I
I'll
like
100%
that.
do it.
You don't want it that bad, Kyle.
I don't.
You
You don't want the smoke.
You see
I don't
my
want to
face.
I don't want to put coffee grounds in my lips, but I'll do it if you take a sip of Black Rifle coffee. You don't even have to like it.
Shout out to Cole. Shout out to Cole. We love you, Cole.
We do love you, Cole. You know what else we love? We love learning.
We do.
On this show, there's a lot of learning.
Yeah, science.
A lot of science, a lot of
I was hooked on phonics.
opportunity,
You know what I'm saying?
a lot of that as well.
Hydro.
But I love learning with a little bit of some.
Wide 80. Wide 80. It's time for QB Vision with Isaiah Stanback.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Welcome back to Talkin Cowboys. We're going to do the QB vision now.
we never left. They can watch us that entire time.
I don't know. Some people are just listening.
He got you.
Back to you, Isaiah.
He got you.
Fair.
San Francisco 49ers. Okay, let's talk about them a little bit. There's not a whole lot here because they are beat down. Obviously, we just talked about that in the news and notes portion. But just to give you guys a little perspective. Since 2021, Dak Prescott versus the San Francisco 49ers. How do you guys feel as if it's not just Dak, right? But it's the whole offense. How do you guys think that they've weathered versus these guys?
Not good, Bob.
Not good.
Not good, Bob.
Not good.
Not good. 0-3 since 2021.
Ouch.
It's last in the league versus the 49ers. Points per game, 13. Completion percentage, 57.7.
It's not ideal.
Passing yards per attempt, 5.9. Passing touchdowns, 3. Interceptions, 6. Passer rating, 60.3. I say all that to say history has not been great to the Cowboys, nor Dak Prescott when it comes into the 49ers.
I don't like what you're saying, sir.
It's okay, but you know what? But there is good news.
Okay.
The good news is, over the last 3 years, he's faced a different defensive coordinator for the 49ers every year.
Yeah.
Right? So
Wait,
that's the good news.
That's good news?
That is good news.
They've had the same success with different coordinators?
Okay.
I don't know if that's great news.
Yeah. Let's. You don't get the same guy that's get to double up on Dak. So that's the good news. Okay. Let's look at the other good news. They have a lot of guys that are down right now, right? Some of their most effective interior defensive linemen are down right now. They rely on those guys heavily to make an impact for them, but they have some other dudes, okay? And the other dudes that I want to talk about are the guys that you typically don't hear, and that is Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd is a dude for them, number 56. Obviously, you guys know him from his time in Buffalo. You guys know him from his time with the Rams. He is one hell of a player for them, okay? And he is a guy that is getting to the quarterback pretty frequently right now, along with his buddy, old pal. And you guys probably know his buddy, old pal, number 97. Yeah, Nicholas Bosa, not Nicolas Cage. I like Nicolas Cage. He's a great actor. Con Air was amazing. But it is
more of a national treasure guy.
Oh, really? Oh, Con Air is
More
my
of
movie.
a Gone in 60 Seconds.
I am
That too.
Gone in 60
I'm a Gone in 60
seconds,
but I love Con Air.
We're also more of a long legs.
Oh, long legs.
Yeah.
Oh, long legs, Nicolas Cage. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Nick Bosa.
Let me in
okay?
now. And it
You know-
can be now. Sorry, you go ahead.
What do you know Nick Bosa for doing?
Starring in movies?
No, Nick Bosa, you know him for
sorry.
sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
were still
Typically,
talking
you
about
know,
Cage.
Knocking around your quarterback.
you know him for getting to your quarterback and being the sack guy. He is third in the NFL over the last 2 seasons with 32.5 sacks. This season, he only has 3.5, though.
Oh.
So is he falling off?
No.
No,
he's not falling off.
Because
He
what
just
are the pressures?
Yeah, because the pressure is saying a completely
man.
different story. So even though he's tied for 10th in the league in terms of the 3.5 sacks, Bosa is still a dude. He will play on both sides, unlike some defensive ends that we've seen this year. He will line up against whoever he feels is the worst of the 2 tackles, and he will try his best to take advantage of him. Now, he is leading the league in pressures. That is a problem. because those pressures have resulted in turnovers in the form of interceptions for some of the other opponents. You can go back and look at Geno Smith. He had some good pressures against him, and Geno overthrew some guys and interception.
He had 14 pressures against Seattle.
Yeah, he had a lot of pressures against Seattle. He kind of had a day. So somebody that you definitely need to be aware of, obviously. Once you get past Leonard Floyd and Nick Bosa, then there's another guy that you kind of have to be concerned about. Do you guys know who the guy is at the second level?
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
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 It is Halloween. Yeah.
Fred Krueger.
I'm going to call him,
a.k.a. Fred Warner.
which I consider, and I will stand here on the table, right, in some Fruit of the Loom draws,
right.
and with some tighty whities on,
And
and say that he is the best linebacker in football.
And you're right.
Why do we need the mental picture of that?
You had to see it. You
All
had
right.
to see it. Yep.
Fair enough.
Fred Warner is the best linebacker in football.
Yikes.
I would agree.
That's facts.
Not only just because of what he can physically do, but cerebrally, he is so freaking smart. And he is athletic. It's all get out. He's physical. He's vocal. He is, when you drop a middle linebacker, he's the guy that you draw up.
Do you
right?
remember what he did to Dallas last year?
Yes. No.
Do you remember what he did?
No.
The interception, a sack,
Stop.
the
He did all the
pressures, the
things.
tackle for loss. I mean, he was literally
He did all
all
the things.
over the field. Terrence Steele, by
So
the
it was
way,
a
last
nightmare.
year,
Fred
he was a
Krueger.
nightmare. Last year, Terrence Steele against San Francisco recorded the lowest pass block grade of his entire career. He was graded on Pro Football Focus as an 8.4.
Oh.
8.4. He allowed 8 pressures, a sack, 3 hits, and 4 hurries. In an 8.4 grade out of 100. Got an 8.
Yeah.
You ever got an 8 on a test?
No, I haven't done that.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be here.
What Kyle was talking about is talking about those pressures, right? We're talking about Bosa, we're talking about Floyd, right? We're talking about Warner. Not only is he a dude, he is the only player in the NFL this year with multiple forced fumbles and multiple interceptions. So not only is he getting downhill, right, and hitting the crap out of people when he gets there,
Yeah.
but he's also dropping back in coverage and using his athleticism to go up there and get the ball. He's a dude. All right, he's an absolute dude. Why is this a problem? Why am I talking about those 3 guys in particular? Because those are both of your defensive ends, okay? Those are your DNs. That is also your middle linebacker, right? They don't pressure, but they get pressure. This team blitzes the least amount in the NFL. I think they're bottom 2 or bottom 3 in the
Because they
NFL in
don't
terms
have
of blitz. Yeah, they blitz 17 or 19% at a time. They don't blitz. But
19.
Yeah,
19%.
19. But they blitz. I mean, but they get pressure on the quarterback.
37%.
Yeah, they're getting back there. So what does that mean? That means that you have to be stout up front. These guys are not having to expose themselves defensively in terms of taking risk to still be effective defensively.
Well, and because they're so good up front and they get that pressure, you can play nickel, have that extra defensive back,
Correct.
and then all of a sudden the secondary helps out the front. It's kind of what Dallas did under Dan Quinn for a long time.
Yep.
In terms of pressure up front, allowing for that secondary to eat.
Correct. As we go to the secondary, I think the only person that's out there that I'm remotely concerned about is Charvarius Ward. Yeah. He's a yapper. He's physical. He likes to get up in your face and stay in your hip pocket.
Former Cowboy.
Yep, former Cowboy. But coverage wise, I'm not impressed by these guys. I think that you can get over the top of them. I think that you can beat them. They don't, again, because they don't take risks, they're always going to be in a relatively sound defense. They don't lean heavily either way. They don't lean heavily towards single high. They don't lean heavily towards too high. They are pretty even keeled when it comes to defense, right? So what that means is based upon whatever personnel groupings you come out with, that's how they're going to match you, right? They're not a predominantly single high team or predominantly we're going to sit back team. They change it up based upon their opponent. And because they don't have to blitz and they can still get pressure, they usually play it safe, right? They can sit over the top, right? They don't have to do a lot of things. But when they decide to get up in your face and play man, take advantage. And I think that you can.
I'm a little concerned about Renardo Green because he had a really good game in Seattle. Like he was giving DK Metcalf some issues, and basically eliminated a touchdown just before halftime. A perfect ball, almost perfect
Contest,
route.
yeah.
and contested the catch and shoved him out of bounds. And DK Metcalf is a big dude. So I'm concerned about Renardo Green and how he's going to cerebrally affect Dak Prescott.
For sure.
And he has really great closing speed.
I tell you who the Cowboys will also need to be concerned about, in addition to everyone that you guys are saying. There's another former Cowboys, a former third-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys that everybody is kind of forgetting about right now, but he has 3 sacks right now. He's right up there with the sack tally as far as those other guys getting the job done, Leonard Floyd and Nick Bosa. That's Malik Collins. Malik Collins is in San Francisco 49er land right now. And for a lot of Cowboys fans that did not know that, and they're thinking right now after they hear me say, they're like, well, wait, Malik Collins plays over there? Yes, and he's playing well. He's actually playing career ball over there right now under that defensive scheme. So you got to keep an eye on him. What might work in the Cowboys' favor, and I say might because, again, based upon what I said yesterday, don't FAFO. You need to play like these guys are out there. Kevin Givens, he's a 3.5 sack guy. He helps with the pressure from the interior, but he is dealing with a groin injury. He did not participate yesterday. We'll see if he can go or if he's 100%, but you need to play like he's going and he's 100%. But nonetheless, it's that defensive front. Obviously, you have Fred Warner patrolling behind, and he is hands down the best linebacker in the game. But that front four, I believe, even without Givens, is one of arguably probably the best in the league. And in large part, that's also because of what Malik Collins has given them. So the Cowboys, they have some insight on Malik Collins. Use that insight. You scouted him. You drafted him. You know his tendencies. You know his strengths. You know his weaknesses. Use that. Exploit that.
I like it. I don't like it. I like the breakdown.
He's like, no, sir, I don't like it.
The breakdown, but I do love, or I don't love seeing what they have on the other side. I was looking at this stat from Fred Warner a moment ago, and it goes kind of hand in hand with his versatility at the second level. Since drafting Fred Warner in 2018, the 49ers have allowed 11 fewer completions on passes over the intermediate middle third of the field than any other defense in the entire NFL. 11 fewer. So that's a lot. I mean, that's a full game's worth of completions for a really good wide receiver. But that's since 2018. They've allowed a 51% completion percentage to this area over that time frame, almost 2 percentage points lower than any other defense. And that's Fred Warner not only patrolling from pressures and sacks and interceptions and all these different things. He's just a solid coverage linebacker, too.
Absolutely.
He can do all of it.
And I'm not sure if they put this up on the website yet, but I did a film room breakdown yesterday. That breaks down. Okay, so go check it out, DallasCowboys.com. That shows exactly what Kyle's referring to in terms of how smart and how savvy of a player Fred Warner is in terms of being able to come up to the line of scrimmage. The one particular play that we show, he's at the line of scrimmage. He changes the play call for that offense, right? Takes them out of a passing situation to puts them in a situation where they're now trying to protect, gets them to change their protection, backs up, go ahead, takes away one of the receiver, and then drops back, takes away another receiver and gets the interception, gets up and returns it for a touchdown. The dude's a problem.
Yeah.
The dude's a problem. And
is he the biggest problem for the San Francisco team? Probably. But I'm going to take him and Bosa out of the equation. And when we come back, I want you to give me the biggest threat on the San Francisco defense outside of the names we just mentioned here in a moment, right after this with more Talkin' Cowboys.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback. We've got Chris Beam in the back. Hello. I'm Kyle Youmans. All right, biggest threat. We just mentioned a bunch of names defensively.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, and then which one of the DBs did you just mention? Green? Did you say Green?
Yeah. Green.
Okay,
Renardo Green.
I want to take Renardo Green out of there too.
Okay.
Without those guys in the fold, who's the biggest threat on the San Francisco defense?
Leonard Floyd.
Oh, we said him too.
No.
No. I said in the tease.
You didn't say
Leonard
Floyd. You didn't say take
Leonard Floyd out. In the tease, I said take the names we just mentioned and take them out. Outside of Leonard Floyd.
I got you.
Yeah.
Malik Mustafa.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for new names.
Yeah.
Well, I gave you Malik Collins.
That was a good one.
So I'm going to roll my. So for me, it's Malik Collins.
You can say Malik Collins.
It's Malik Collins, and when you circle back around, I'll give an added reason why it's Malik Collins.
Keep going, Josh.
I think at least for Malik Mustafa, Dak is just not. Obviously, the receivers are not quite there this year, aside from CD, who also needs to get to a point where he's in sync with Dak Prescott. To me, a guy like Malik Mustafa can confuse and lull Dak Prescott into making poor decisions, which we've seen so far this year. Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned about that, but again, more so on Renardo Green, but Malik Mustafa as well.
I'm going to say in this particular matchup, I'm going to say Jair Brown. The free safety, just seemingly from the standpoint, these guys are going to be sitting back most likely in a too high set, forcing Dallas to run the ball because you don't have to be played single high against these guys, at least to this point, which allows the safeties to sit back. And if they're sitting back and you're trying to get CD the ball, typically Dallas likes to get CD the ball in the form of over routes, right? When he lines up in the slot, he likes to run them over about 15 to 18 yards across the formation, across the field, and safeties can cut on that, right? When I say cut, I mean like, hey, I know where you're going. I'm going to cut you off, and I'm going to get there first and then beat you there to the ball and try to intercept it. Or you're going to see kind of what we've seen in Pittsburgh and some of these other games where CD's trying to run corner routes, and the safeties are able to sit back and kind of see Dak release the ball, and they can jump on those as well. So if those things have not been corrected over this bye week, then I think that he's probably the most advantageous person to take advantage of that in this game.
So I'm going to stick with Malik Collins and go back to segment 2, listeners and viewers, and you'll see some of the reasons why I say that. Here are a couple of added reasons. Nick Bosa, 3.5 sacks. Malik Collins has 3 sacks, right? So only half a sack fewer in 60 fewer pass rush reps, okay? He has 17 quarterback pressures, 9 quarterback hits, but here's another key stat. Nick Bosa has 2 turnovers created by his quarterback pressures. Malik Collins has 1. So while Nick Bosa is all world, Malik Collins, as far as getting the pressure, forcing those pressures to be productive for his defense and forcing a turnover, rattling the opposing quarterback, he's doing it. And he's doing it from the interior.
Inside,
something that the Cowboys really would like to have going on their team right now. So for me, it's Malik Collins.
That's a good one. I like it. I'm going to go with I'm probably going to say his name wrong, but Lenore on the outside. Demano.
It's Lenoir.
Lenoir.
It's Lenore.
I don't know.
It's Lenore.
He's the Tarjay.
Yeah. He's been really kind of up and down since 2021. He hasn't been perfect. And there's some things that he does well, but the thing that I like that he does is he keeps everything underneath. So right now, the yards per reception, where at early reports in his career it was over 16 yards per reception. He's given up 8 yards per reception right now.
He's playing downhill.
He's been targeted 40 times. He's given up 25 receptions. He's broken up a lot of passes throughout. So I don't think he's a game changer, but if we're looking for extra names to say, hey, he could play an impact in this game, it might be something like Lenore on the outside as well. All right, that does it for us here on Talking Cowboys. Tomorrow we'll have a Say It With Your Chest Friday. We got some new T-shirts to rock from our guy Cole. We'll talk about that a little bit, have some fun together, and we'll give our predictions for the Week 8 slate in the NFL. Lots to talk about on a Say It With Your Chest Friday. We'll be back tomorrow for Isaiah Stanback, for Chris Beam in the back, for Josh Rodriguez, Patrik No C. Walker. I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We will see you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!